Long ago, on the top of Mount Hermon, a strange event took place. Otherworldly beings traveled through dimensions of time and space. These visitors dwelt with men and sought the worship of the human race without regard for the consequences of leaving their first estate. These visitors ravaged the earth, mankind, and the beasts, siring unnatural offspring that eventually would on mankind feast. The gods, as they are known, bore giants history called men of renown. Over the entire world their corrupted bloodlines could be found. The life was always in the blood, and the Watchers were not ignorant of this. And their altering of DNA by the transcendent God was not missed. There remained alive but one man whose blood had not been stained. From his wrath and regret, God's judgment would not be restrained. Though the flood took the lives of those who were mortal, there came even after the rain those who travel through the portals. There are those who prefer to think these are just grand stories or great mystery, but many are the proofs through the ages and through time written into history. But the flood was not to be the end of this great war for the worship of man. On the plains of Shinar, there was unfolding yet another plan. To reconstruct the events of Mount Hermon, Nimrod with the Watchers was in collusion, and even though Mystery Babylon has survived through time, Nimrod's efforts ended in confusion. Then came another from a heavenly dimension, but he came not through some celestial portal, and he came not as a spirit, but born of a woman to become equal with mortals. He came to redeem both the earth and the man. The forgiveness of sin was only part of his plan. He died between the heavens and the earth for our sin, a free gift to all who into their hearts will invite him in. Now the reversing of Hermon has many perplexed, but that is exactly what happened next. You see, many of the lesser gods had been put into chains, and Yeshua engaged them in order to explain that they were defeated, and there was yet for them further bane. Then rising to life, Yeshua proved he is the God who reigns. While it is true that life is in the blood, it is only Yeshua's blood that brings life. Yet there still remains ahead more darkness, more battles, and more strife. There are still watchers and giants hidden in caves and darkness and under the ice. First they appeared at Hermon, then Shinar, and the next appearing will make thrice. You may think this reads like some old fairy tale or some religious lore, but the archaeological remains in every corner of the world shout, they were here before. All the alchemy, sorcery, or the mysteries of the ages will not prevail in the final day. And that day is not far from us, for the signs of the prophets are even now being displayed. You can choose to believe or choose to reject. That privilege belongs to you. Life and death are in your choice, so choose wisely, for the word of Yahweh remains true. Yeshua waits for the Father's command to ride, and he will come with a flaming sword, and all the preparations of the Watchers are for naught, for even Satan will recognize Yeshua as the only King of kings and Lord of lords. There will be a new heaven and a new earth, and the redemption plan will be fulfilled. The victory was won at Calvary, and soon the noise of the Watchers will be stilled. The secrets of the Watchers are still kept within Luciferian fraternities, and those who follow their lies will find the reality of hell and of eternity. Living, he loved me. Dying, he saved me. Buried, he carried my sins far away. Rising, he justified freely forever, and one day he's coming. Oh, glorious day! In the days ahead, we will either trust in the rock or pray for the rocks to fall upon us. It all depends on the choice you make today, so the question remains, who will you trust? There were Nephilim in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of Elohim came unto the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. The same became warriors and tyrants, which were of ancient times men of infamy. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every freeman, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, Fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sits on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb, for the great day of his wrath has come, and who shall be able to stand?